Good afternoon. This is Sue, the Soggy Stamper. It's Friday afternoon, just shortly after 3 o'clock, and I will be starting my Facebook Live in just a minute. Hi, Dinah. It's good to see you. So today, I'm going to be featuring one of the retiring stamp sets called the Inspiring Iris. This is what the set looks like. It's a photopolymer set, which is my favorite because you can see exactly where you're stamping. Slide that up a little further. And I like it because it's got the line drawing, which you can color with markers or with Stampin' Blends, or you can use these stamps here to stamp in the images. And this is a flip fold card. Let me see what happened to, oh, I've got to go get the sample. This is the first, this is one card like that. It's really a cool design, and it still fits in to a regular sized envelope. So it looks like this, and then you open it up, and there is the inside. This one I made using the whale penned stamp set and coordinating designer series paper, which will be in the new holiday, the new annual catalog starting May 4th. And I color, this one I actually stamped the images in from the stamp set. But this is the one we are going to make today with the irises. And this is the reverse side of that designer series paper. So it's this side. And then you turn it over, and there's this beautiful paper on the other side. But we're going to use this because I thought that just the leaves behind the irises would make the irises show up better. So it's an easy one to make, but the cutting of the triangle is kind of tricky. I'm going to start with a piece of Blackberry Bliss 11 by 4 1/4 inch designer series, cardstock, not designer series paper. And first we're going to score it at 5 1/2. Turn my thing around. Make sure the cutting blade is out of the way. There's been too many times that I have actually cut it when I meant to score. So score it 5 1/2. set this aside for a minute. And fold it in half and use a bone folder to make a good sharp scored line like that. Okay, now to make the points, we're going to measure on all three sides 2 1/8. That did a pretty good job. And mark it with, oh, it did not fold straight. Let's see if I can get that better. Come on. If I do it this way, trying to get it so that the edges are together properly. Nope, it's not going to work. So it's not going to match up quite right. I'm going to go ahead and, actually I'm going to trim off, it's about 1/8 of an inch difference. And I'm going to just trim that off. Okay, now we'll mark 2 1/8. And 2 1/8. And then at this end, 2 1/8. Now, one of the things that's really great about the paper trimmer from Stampin' Up! Is it can actually do 2 layers of cardstock at the same time, which is amazing. So I'm lining up that mark. Let me slide it over more. Let's see if this is better. So a little bit of a delay on my, yeah, this is better. Okay, so there's a mark here, and there's a mark here. And I'm going to line those up on the cutting track. And this is very important that you get it right, exact. Okay, so you can discard those 2 pieces. And then we're going to line up that mark again with the mark on the other side. And cut. So you have this shape. Now on the side where, let's see, on the side where we have the marks, I'm going to score. These are the 2 1/8 marks that we made. Turn around this way. Have more to line up with. Oh. Okay, then a score there. And this folds back like that. So you have this shape. And if I have scored it accurately and cut accurately, this is a 3 by 3 inch square. And if I have done it accurately, it should line up like that. And it is pretty close, so that these edges match up when it's shut. Not too bad. I tried 3 or 4 times to get it last time. Okay, now on this piece is, this is the insert, and it's 4 inches by 5 1/4. And what happened to the pencil? There it is. This time we're going to measure 2 inches from one edge. And half the distance across the 4 inches, again, is 2 inches. And we are again going to cut from this mark to this mark. Well, it's not good, quite exact. I can tell already. And from this mark to that center. And if I was really accurate with that cutting, this should fit in here. Yeah, pretty good. So it fits in with just a little bit of a border. I'm actually going to trim a piece of this off at this end because I would want a little bit bigger border. So I'm going to take off just a bit. Because I don't want it to be in the way of closing the card. Ta-da! That's perfect. See if it fits when I turn it over the other way. Yep, looks good. So I'm going to use some seal to put it down. I'm only using a little bit on the corners so that if I have to pick it up to reposition, I don't have to work at getting the whole edge off. And you know this little piece that comes with the thing when for protecting it when it's being shipped? I, in the past, have not saved it, but with this one that I have now, I am saving it, and I think it helps protect the tip and make it so that it's easier to apply. Okay, so there's that part. And then we have this piece that is 3 inches by 4 inches, and that fits in here. No, this is not 3 inches by 4 inches. What am I talking about? It is 3 inches. Yeah. Yeah, by 4 inches. This part is optional. You wouldn't need to put it in your card. But it just kind of finishes off the inside. So it looks like that. Now on the outside, this is 3 by 3, and this one is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So you have a nice border around there. That. And the irises I stamped with Memento ink, and then I colored them in advance with light and dark Highland Heather and dark Old Olive. Oh, and a little bit of the Mango Melody for the centers of the flowers. And since cutting them out, fussy cutting them out is time consuming, for the sake of saving time, I went ahead and pre-cut it out for you. I don't mind doing fussy cutting, but for the sake of videoing, it just takes a little bit longer than what I want. So I'm going to pop that up with Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm going to mount it near the top of the diamond. Let's see, I think I'm going to turn it around a little bit. Like that. And with the dimensionals, it pops it up so it shows a little bit better. Now, this goes onto the flap, so that when the card is closed, it covers the back. And it looks like I could trim off a little bit, because this edge is a little bit wide. So I'm going to try to trim that off so that it's even with the other sides. Well, I could take still a little more off. I'm amazed at the thin slices you can get on this. Depending on the cardstock, sometimes it bends the edge down. Yeah, that's what I want. Take just a little bit off this edge too. And when you're doing something like that, it's better to start away. There. Now the best way to do this is to use liquid, multi-purpose liquid glue. And you're going to put it just on this triangular flap. Just letting you know the guard dogs are on duty. We have a couple of dachshunds, and they are super vigilant whenever they hear any kind of a sound. They have to bark. And I've got training videos on how to stop them from barking. But that requires me to be consistent in working with them. And one of these days I'll be consistent on anything. I'm consistent at least on doing Facebook Lives. Okay, so this fold comes down over that triangle. And I want to make sure it's lined up. The edges are even. That's why I used the multi-purpose liquid glue, so I could adjust it. Yeah. There we go. And then I'm going to use another piece of that. So see, if I had put it like that, it would be pretty, but the irises would not be quite as prominent. This piece is again 4 by 3 inches. No, this is 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. If I had done 4 by 3, I would have had a narrower border. I just realized. It goes there like that. So there's the front of our card. Almost. I tied this bow previously. This pretty bow, wrapped 3 loops around my fingers and then tied it. Actually, I used a bow making thing because it's much more effective, much easier, for me at least. And I'm going to put that on the front. Okay, there we go. Like right about here. Like that. So there's the front of the card. Now comes what I found was the tricky part. Let me see. Yeah. So I had intended to put this up here in the center, but guess what happened? I dropped the pad, the stamp, and ended up with it down there instead. So I just adjusted. You know, there are no unhappy ends. Oh, like Bob Ross says, it's just a happy accident. And I kind of like it with it just popping out the corner like that. Inking it up with Memento ink. I like the Memento ink because it does not stain my stamps. It washes off very nicely. And it's necessary when you're using Stampin' Dimensionals. I mean, when you're using stamping blends. Okay. This time, that's where I want it. And color in. This is Old Olive Stampin' Blend. I love, love, love my blends because you can see the lines when you have lines on a stamp for dimension and stuff. You can still see them after you've gotten through coloring. For me, the markers are much denser ink. And this is more a translucent one. At any rate, that's what I'm maintaining. And irises are one of my favorite flowers. So this stamp set is not going to be sold. It's not going to go far away into storage. Partly because I also like the greetings that are in the stamp set. It says, sending hugs, prayers, and lots of love. Wishing you the best. Thanks. And you are somebody who makes everybody feel like somebody. And they are just, for me, particularly sending hugs, prayers, and lots of love. For the church, we have an occasion to do that often. And a lot of the cards I'm making these days are for the church. Okay, so this is the light Highland Heather. So we have only a couple more weeks for the retirement list. Also recently, this week, they added more things to the clearance rack. So be sure to go to Creations by Sue, StampiNUp.net, and check out the clearance rack. That is, if you don't already have a demonstrator. If you do have a demonstrator, go to their website and give them the business. But if you don't, I'll be happy to be a demonstrator. Stop. My dog is not a very discriminating dog as far as what he barks at. Any noises. And my husband's outside working on his boat, and so Blake is barking at my husband. And I apologize, but there's not much I can do about it. Sometimes Ron even leaves with the dogs, so I don't have to contend with a barky dog. I am getting really excited about the new catalog. I am positively already excited about it. And if you don't have a demonstrator and you would like a free catalog, I'll be happy to send it to you. Just email me at sue@soggystamper.com and I'll get it sent off to you. Go back over that with a little bit to blend out. I missed a thing there. Okay, kind of blend the dark out. A little bit of shading where there might be shadows to give it kind of a dimensional feel. You can also accomplish it by just going over the same with a couple of layers of the same thing. And now for the flower centers. There. And one last thing is the greeting. And I'm using Old Olive, I think. Wonder where the stamp pad went. believe it or not, I cleaned up a little bit off my table and I had actually put it away. Now I got a little bit of a story to tell you about this greeting. You'll notice it's a little bit green. Well, I was going to just use the marker and cover over it, but I used the Stampin' Blend marker. Oh my gosh, I thought I'd ruined my stamp. I used alcohol to clean it off as much as I could, and then I went and washed it with some soap in hopes that it would, excuse me, sending hugs, prayers, and lots of love. And there you have it. This is the diamond flip fold with a lovely card. This could be for an Easter card. You could put Happy Easter. You could put some sort of a greeting there, maybe if you wanted, or you could put your greeting here. There's all kinds of different ways you can do it. You could use an oval or a circle in here. I made one with the snail, the Snail did, designer series paper, and cut out one of the snails and had that in the center there for a birthday card for a granddaughter. You have room, you could decorate over here. And then don't forget to sign the back. Long time ago I had, well, I'm not going to do it right now, but long time ago we sold customized stamps. That I had, so I had mine made with my name, and it says rain or shine, it's stamping time. And then I had my website in the center there. It's kind of hard to see. The website is pretty small. But then I added from the one of the retiring stamp sets, the copyright down at the bottom, and I just keep it set up like this all the time, so that I can put it on the back of all my cards, because artists are supposed to sign their work, and we are artists. So I thank you for watching this video today. I will give the measurements on my web. I'll post it on a blog post. If you have any questions, you can contact me, Sue at soggystamper.com. The blog will be up here at soggystamper.com, my blog, and I will be putting the video up on my YouTube, which again is Soggy Stamper, the Soggy Stamper. So thank you for watching. If you don't have a demonstrator, contact me. I'd be happy to help you with your stamping needs, and I'd love to send you one of the new catalogs. Talk to you next Friday afternoon, if not sooner. Bye-bye.